One thing that I think some people may not have thought about whenever you're traveling overseas is health insurance. Your health provider here in the U.S. may not cover any type of international incidents. What I usually do, I use Insure My Trip, right? And so they have the app. It is so easy to use and navigate and to compare. I'll show you in just a second what the main website looks like. So, the U.S. government spent like billions, I think, creating a healthcare website that is pretty much useless. I've been on there to look for insurance now that I'm not working, and it's horrible. You can't just look at side-by-side comparisons of each one of the different plans and then pick which one you want and enter the system. Every single option tries to send you to a phone call with a healthcare professional who's going to guide you through the process. I don't need a healthcare professional to guide me through the process. If they would set their website up like Insure My Trip is set up, it would be perfect, and then I wouldn't have to waste my time on a phone talking to someone when I don't need to. Alright, so Insure My Trip. Alright, travel insurance. This is so simple. Okay. Let's pick the Philippines, since that's my area of interest, right? And then you'll put your departure date and your return date of when you'll be traveling there and back. So for me, May. And what we'll do is I'll start the insurance on the day that I'm flying there, and then end it on the day that I actually return home. Alright. It'll ask you traveler ages. There's only one. That's me. Alright. Then it's going to ask you how much did your trip cost. Right? And so it gives you a little bit down here because a lot of their plans will offer like trip protection, and so if you have to cancel your trip last minute, or if there's some type of a typhoon or whatever that enters into the area and you can't get to your destination and you have to cancel, they will offer trip protection plans. They offer luggage protection plans. There's so many different options. For me, $815 today, I guess. We'll just say March 1. Alright. Alright, you see how easy this is? So all I did was enter my little bit of information. Boom. Now I've got choices. All these different things. So many different choices. Right? So you have comprehensive, which is going to... It's comprehensive. It's going to cover the most of a wide range of all types of things. And then you have strictly medical, and you have evacuation, embassy visa, and accidental death. Right, and then over here you have the same selections, or you can choose by the provider. Right, you have all these different providers as you scroll through. Okay, so here's the deal. It's so easy. Where it says compare plan, okay, so let's say I want to see what's the difference between the AIG plans. You hit each one of them. 3 plans selected, compare. Right, and then what you're going to get is a side-by-side comparison of each one of the plans. And this will include any of them you check. If you check 12 different plans, all of them will be listed out. Now you'll have to kind of scroll left to right, but you'll be able to see side by side, and it's so simple just to go along here, and you can see what each one of the different coverages that are. You'll be able to see each one of the different coverages and the amounts and the deductibles and all those types of things all side by side, and it's so easy. I'm telling you, the healthcare.gov website needs to be like this. I don't need to talk to a healthcare professional. This is what I need. All the information right here at my fingertips. I can scroll through, see side by side, and then pick the plan that is best for me and move from there. So this is only one plan. So let's go back. Alright, so let's return to list view. For me personally, I didn't need a comprehensive plan because when I bought my airline tickets, I purchased at that time the trip cancellation coverage. So if anything were to happen, I already have that plan. So I don't really need all of that twice, right? And when you're going through these plans, be careful, make sure you're reading everything, because some of these plans only act as a secondary coverage. So whatever your primary coverage is, you're going to have to use that first before you can use the secondary coverage. And they just kind of help fill in the gaps. That's also in the options. You can check. So for me, alright, I would go to medical plan. I have 9 plans available. And let's say, okay, well, let's see what AIG, the top plan for Geo Blue, HCC, this one and that one. That's all the top plans for each one of them. You can see the plans really have wide ranges. Okay, so let's hit compare. As you scroll down, here you can see, right, it says secondary on all these options. And what that means is this is only being offered as a secondary insurance to your primary care insurance. If you don't have a primary insurance, then this will act as a primary. But if you have a primary, you have to go through that first. Then you can apply to them and they'll figure out what to do with your coverages. Some of the main things I look for are like the medical evacuation, and because I mean you're going into another country, but if something were to happen, whether it's an earthquake, typhoon, whatever the case, natural disaster, something happens and you get yourself in a bind and you need to get back to the U.S. so you can be taken care of, then you definitely need some good medical evacuation. And so that I always look and try to get that as like one of my higher benefits whenever I'm looking at these plans. Hopefully you'd never have to use any of it. For most things, depending on where you're headed, especially like for me in the Philippines, most of the medical costs there are going to be fairly expensive unless I do something really major, right? So I could probably afford a lot of the smaller out-of-pocket expenses. But just in case something major were to happen, this gives you that just one less thing you have to worry about while you're traveling. You can go and just have fun, and you don't have to worry about if something were to take place. I mean, you're covered, you took care of. And if you're just going for like 2 weeks, these plans really drop down. You'll pay like $10, $15, something like that. I mean, this is not a flat rate. It is adjusted to your length of stay. So, yeah, my first time I went, I got me a plan, and I think it was $15 and something. This last trip I took was only a week-long trip, and it only was maybe like $6 or $7 for a medical plan, a health insurance medical plan. So, like I said, it's actually very inexpensive to just give yourself that peace of mind of knowing that it's there. I don't know, I've never, luckily, knock on wood, I've never had to use this, so I don't know if these providers, like how good their customer service is, how quick they are to respond, get back with you, things like that. Hopefully I will never have to find that out. I still like the idea that it is there, you know, even if they're a little pain to deal with, it's better than having nothing and then taking your chances, right? So anyway, that's just my thought for today. And alright, so as you can see, right, it's a very, very, very simple app. And it's got emergency contact information. So you can put in like wherever you are. It gives you travel warnings. And then it'll show you, I don't want to show that, but if you click on the My Travel Insurance, it'll show the plans that you've already purchased. And so it's real handy, right? If you are traveling, you wind up in the hospital, as long as your phone is working, you can pull your plan up while you're there with the doctor without having to run back to your hotel and get the printed out copy, which you should bring with you just in case, to the, you know, on your trip. But anyway, I really like using them. Between having the app and then how easy it is to just go through, compare plans, pricing, it's just so easy to use, and it gives you that peace of mind of knowing you have something as a backup. So I know this isn't the most exciting of videos, but I thank you if you stuck with me till the end of this thing. And the whole point of this is for me to try to help someone who may be thinking about taking a trip soon. Anyway, I hope it helps somebody out, and don't forget to like and subscribe down below. Good night.